you one thing, if a little green man pops out of me, I'm shooting first and asking questions later.
You are on the verge of destroying the entire universe.
Welcome to the Strange Podcast with Sam and Logan.
If you enjoy the show, please go to iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, or wherever you're listening, and please give us a good rating. If you want to share a story or have ideas for a future episode, you're welcome to visit us at www.thestrangepodcast.com. We look forward to hearing from you.
And welcome to The Strange Podcast. This is episode 27, and I'm Logan Marks.
And I'm Sam Baxter. Today's April 19th, 2018. So how you feeling?
Oh, you know how I'm feeling.
You feeling good?
Oh, man, I got sick again, dude.
Man, why are you getting so sick all the time?
I guess because I'm working in a new place, different area.
All those new germs?
New germs, probably. A lot of younger people. Just a lot of people coming in.
All those millennials making you sick?
Those little bastards.
Yeah, those making you lose your lunch. Oh, God, I can't believe I'm hearing what you're saying. So as you're sick, you probably got some time off, huh?
Well, I took a day off, and I ended up watching the new Lost in Space.
Oh, how was that?
It's actually pretty good.
Is it really?
It's kind of rough starting out. It's kind of a little cheesy at the beginning, but once it gets going, mm-hmm. like it's actually a pretty entertaining show. There's always a lot of action. It's a lot of good sci-fi. Mm-hmm. They got robots. They're in space and they crash landing and all this other stuff. And there's always something going on. So
a guy at work told me he saw it. We were just talking about it yesterday. He said it was, like you said, it was kind of hard at the beginning. Like it's kind of slow, and it took a few episodes to really get into. So it was a little bit. He watched the old ones and the movie, and so if you're a fan of all those, that might be tough to kind of watch this one.
Oh, really?
Yeah, well, because you're used to the that doctor. Remember, the doctor was just like a pussy asshole in the TV show. Mm-hmm. Remember, he was like all for himself, and
yeah, that's the way the.
But it's a woman on this one, right?
Yeah, it's what's her name? Parker Posey.
Parker Posey, huh?
Yeah, and she does a really good job. Like the whole time, you're fucking just like, "Fuck, bitch, just calm down, dude."
Really? Yeah, I heard she's pretty shitty.
No, yeah, she's a shitty person, but like
that's what I meant.
Yeah, she plays the part really well.
Yeah, because like on the old ones, it was that Zachary Smith. Dr. Smith. He was just like he was like basically a big pussy who would sell out the rest of the family,
Yeah, and that's what Parker Posey was too. Yeah, it's the same character.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
there's no balls.
Yeah, well, literally on this one, it's a female, right?
She doesn't got no dick.
Yeah. Yes, officer, this man has no dick. Remember that in Ghostbusters? Mr. Peck. So it's okay then, huh? I haven't watched it yet.
Did you like the movie?
No, the movie sucked. I felt like the movie with Matt
the name from
Friends
Friends?
was pretty shitty. Yeah. Where I remember seeing the previews to it like back in the day, and I remember thinking, "Fuck, this looks great." And when I saw the movie, I was like, "This movie sucks."
I didn't think it was that bad.
I didn't like it. I was totally disappointed. I've only seen it the one time. Maybe if I saw it now, I might appreciate it, but I didn't think it was that good.
No, I kind of liked it when I first saw it, and then I watched it again, and I couldn't go through the whole thing. So,
so I was right. Goddamn,
you're right.
No, I don't know. I'll check it out. I'll check out the show just because it looks good, and you want a good antagonist. You want a good asshole, and if Parker Posey's a good asshole, then let it be. But I think did you ever see The Equalizer, the one with Denzel Washington?
Yeah, I really like that one.
Yeah, the second one's coming out this year.
They had a part 2?
Yeah, man, it's coming out. Second Equalizer.
That
first one was good.
That first one was really good. Yeah.
Yeah, I was surprised.
Like, man, Denzel?
Yeah, he fucked some shit up. But did you ever get to watch? Remember we talked a few weeks ago. Remember that show Monsters on Amazon Prime?
I did watch a couple episodes.
Did you? What did you think?
It was a little cheesy, but some of them were okay.
It is. That's what I'm telling you. I'm not trying to tell everyone it's a great show.
Yeah.
It's a show that I liked when I was younger, as a kid, and I'm telling you that it's not fucking the best show. But it's all right.
Entertaining.
Exactly.
It's.
I'm not trying to tell you you're gonna be super freaked out or you're gonna be super weirded out because it was made in the late '80s, and we're so desensitized to a lot of that stuff now. So everything's all like Black Mirror, how everything's all sci-fi.
Yeah.
Really.
What? Like some of the stories, if they kind of updated them.
Yeah, they would hold up.
And redid them again. Like if they remade it, they would actually be pretty good.
Yeah, they would hold up.
Yeah,
I think so. Yeah, but it's a couple shows are good. Some of them, like I was telling you, are a little bit hokey,
Yeah,
But,
like the one with the doll The doll was kind of creepy, but
Yeah.
just like, come on, man.
Yeah, I know. But
What's going on?
that
What's
doll.
going on here?
That doll was pretty fucked up. I wouldn't want that.
No, the first one was actually kind of pretty good. I wish they kind of like that's the one I was like, man, if they had some really good CG, and they had they kind of beefed up the story a little bit, huh?
There's no CG in that.
I know, but like I'm saying, like if they redid that one,
I got you.
That would have been a kind of a cool story.
The very first, what was the very first one?
It was the one where the guy was a healer, and he takes the daughter to.
Oh, that's right. That's right. He would take. So you know what? That's almost like what was that? The Green Mile.
Yeah, it was a little bit like that.
Remember that?
Yeah.
Remember that where
the
guy he would take your pain or he would take your sickness.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty good. That was a good one.
So yeah, I'm planning to watch some more. I just watched a couple of them because I didn't have a lot of time, but.
Yeah, and like I said, they're not the best shows.
Yeah, that's the best show, but they're entertaining.
Exactly. And if you're a millennial, you're not gonna like these at all. I'm telling you.
I know you're more likely to like.
These are super dated, late '80s. But for those of you who watched them back then, and a little nostalgia, it's not a bad show to check out.
Yeah, that's the way I would say too.
Yeah, it'd be something just to kind of rehash, and again, don't go in and thinking like it's gonna be as badass as you remembered it, because it's dated.
Badass as you remember.
Yeah. Hey man, I remember when I was a kid, it was really good.
Yeah, that intro, like
I love that.
You can't. Yeah, like every time it comes on, it's like you just like you see. Because I talked to my wife and I was like, "Do you remember Monsters?" She's like, "No, I don't know what you're talking about." And I was like, "You know what I'm talking about?" She's like, "No, I've never seen it." And I was like trying to describe it to her. It's like it's kind of like a sci-fi horror. She's no. And I was like, "Okay." And I played the beginning. She was like, "Oh shit, yeah, the family, yeah,
yeah, of course,
exactly, yeah."
I love that beginning. That was always like my favorite beginning. Just that music, that just basically personifies how the whole show is. Like, this is some weird ass shit.
That weird kind potato of guy, yeah. It was
a real couch potato, right?
Yeah, nostalgia gets you every time.
Yeah.
All right, so maybe we should get into the strange news.
All right. Strange news.
When we come back, we're going to be doing strange news. So,
all right,
let's do this.
It's time for strange news.
Let's first nugget. I thought it was pretty funny, and for those of you listening, you got to go look at it yourself. But a Texas driver busted with a cardboard license plate. So it sounds funny, but you got to see it, man. Authorities in Texas shared a photo of a car pulled over with a less than convincing cardboard doppelganger in the place of a front license plate. Constable Wayne Thompson of the Fort Bend County Constable's Office, District 3, posted a photo on Facebook of a small car with a piece of cardboard in place of the front license plate.
So, like, did it even like maybe like look like a license plate at all?
No, man, it's fucking cardboard. It's great. It's brown cardboard with black marker on it.
So is the number even right?
I don't know what the numbers look like in Texas, so I couldn't tell you if it has the right amount.
Was it the guy's actual like license plate number?
I don't think this guy ever had one, man. This car looks
See, I can understand, he lost his
license
plate.
I know. He's
so
put that
on there until you could get a new one.
They never said. All they said was the constable says, "Well, I give him an A for effort, but an F on legal." And then he says, "Did you know that Texas law requires a front and rear license plate? Real ones." So those fake shit.
Real ones?
Yeah.
Not that fake shit from China.
Well, at work, I used to work with a guy, and he used to, when you first get by your car and you don't have the tabs yet, you don't have a license plate?
Yeah.
And so they give you that little form, and you put it on the back window, and it tells you, it lets, anybody know that you're going to get your license plate, plate's like on a certain day, right?
Yeah, you just bought the car, so, they're giving you time to get the plates in, yeah.
Exactly. Well, I used to know a guy that if you look close enough, you can't tell from far away. And this car was like an old-ass car. This car was like a fucking 88, like Cressida, Toyota Cressida. Not even a car made anymore. And this car had that on the back plates. But if you got close to it, like if you walked by and you really looked at the thing, the person was always changing the date of when it should be. The guy was always where the date was. Every time when the date was going to end, like say it said like March 5th, he would print out like so it would say April 5th. And just keep pasting it on, keep putting it on the back. So if you're driving, you can't tell the difference, right? You can only tell if you walk up to the car and see it. And I was like, fuck, like this car is a piece of shit and it's really old. Why would he not just buy the fucking plates? They couldn't be that expensive. I mean, I just that's what this makes me think of. Is it was an old ass beat up car, man.
Did
this
he
car,
ever say why he never bought them?
No, nobody ever confronted him about it. We just saw him, like guys would be outside smoking. They'd be like, oh shit, look at this, look at the window. You just kind of out there and they'd see that. I'm like, fuck. And this guy was like high strung and everything, so you just didn't want to bring that up to him, right? It might cause like a shouting match and an argument.
Shouting match.
Yeah. So yeah, we just never brought it up. But these fucking cardboard plates, man. I mean, if anybody, I go look at these. This looks fucking shitty. This is not even a good job.
I just saw the picture. It looks like he's he got his 4-year-old to do it with crayon.
Exactly. Yeah, it's on a cardboard, man. I don't think any license plate in the state is like brown like that.
It'd be funny if you drew like a little mountain or whatever on the back.
I know. Trying to make it real.
Look like a Washington one.
Yeah, no, it doesn't work, guy. Whoever this is, you done fucked up. So what do you got?
I got a story here. So police in Georgia shared security camera footage of a GameStop store burglar who tried to conceal his face using clear plastic wrap.
Clear plastic wrap.
So, yeah, basically like the water bottles, the wrapping that goes around it to take it off. He basically put it on his head. So like when he's running away from the camera, or he's running towards the camera, he's like, you can in the footage you can see him running towards the camera. It's just basically like a hoodie, but his face is like white. Face is like clear as day.
It's exposed.
It's like, why even put it on your head?
I know. What the hell did he steal? Did he steal anything?
He doesn't even say what he tried to steal.
But he had a clear plastic bag on.
Yeah, he just had a clear plastic bag and he took off. It was like a really shitty disguise.
Oh man, what the fuck would you do that for?
When I first read that, when I thought maybe they had put the plastic bag on and maybe like choked or something.
Oh shit!
But no, he just had it on. It was like stupid the way he had it on too.
It's like, just his face was totally exposed, huh?
Yeah, he didn't even cover his face.
And if he did, it was in plastic, clear plastic, so it didn't even matter. Oh god!
But anyway, the police are asking members of the public to help identify the crafty disguised gent.
Crafty, huh? Damn, they're being real nice, aren't they? This guy, he's eluded us. He's too good.
He's all like Superman with his glasses. You can't tell him.
I know, Clark Kent, yeah.
Oh, yeah, Clark
Who
Kent.
are you? I'm Clark Kent, not Superman. I got another story for officials apologize for a electronic highway sign that read, "You suck," on it. So the Washington State Department of Transportation said a training error was to blame for an inappropriate message on an electronic highway sign. So this person posted on Facebook showing an electronic highway sign over southbound I-5 by exit 154 in Jovita with a message reading, "You suck." So the WSDOT said this was an inappropriate message and we apologize if anyone was offended. This was due to training error and clearly a mistake. We're taking steps to ensure that this doesn't happen again, the statement said. So I'm not sure what kind of training they're doing where people would actually just put in "you suck" for fun. But I mean,
it's probably like take your kid to work day.
I know.
Little shitty son was all on there like, "Oh, you suck, eh?"
Yeah, I know. I hate you, Dad. So you suck, Dad, or something. So yeah, I think some of the motorists were a little surprised, and some of them were a little offended by that.
Why would you get offended? I mean, people get offended about everything. Who cares?
Yeah, I know that. I know. Oh man, there was a guy. Sorry, I gotta say this. There was a guy at work. He used to be part of a email queue. Where a team where they answered a bunch of emails, right? And it was for like networking. And there would be like hundreds of mails coming in a day. And he was part of a team that was support. Well, when you're support, basically you're like the ass of the company, right? Because everyone's coming to you to complain, right? They're never happy.
So you gotta hear all the shit.
Yeah, exactly. Well, this one guy used to, all the mails that would come in, he would take each one of them personally. There'd be like 100 a day, like 150. Dude, and each one of them, he would take it all personal.
Damn, that would make your fucking day miserable.
I know.
Was he always pissed off all the time, or what?
Yeah, he's real religious, and he would take each one of them like real personal, and he acted like they were all talking about him to him.
I wasn't even there, man.
I know. They were just like, hey, the network went down for this amount of time and blah, blah, blah. He took it like they were talking to him like, you fucked up the network.
Like he went over there and fucking tripped
yeah,
on the cord.
exactly. And he took like every one of those emails like personal. And the other guys on the team were like, hey, guy, you got to calm down. Like, take it easy. like, just answer him, just use a canned text message, just answer him. Just give him your best shot. He'd just be like, get all huffy and puffy. It's like, geez, man. There's no need for this.
Can't deal with this shit.
Yeah, exactly. But it's like, it wasn't directed at anyone, That's the thing. It was directed at the service itself. And he took each message like personally. I thought that was always so stupid. So what do you got?
Yeah, well, let's see. I have a Saskatoon convenience store stocks meth and crack pipes. So there's basically in the town of Saskatoon in Phoenix. There's a one-stop convenience store on 29th Street. Said it's common for families to run to convenience stores to stock these items because they are in high demand, especially in the neighborhoods where he shops locally. So basically, people were coming in and asking if they can store meth and crack pipes at the store.
They wanted them to be supplied?
Yeah, because it was a pain in the ass for them to drive across town to go get them. So
can you just put them in the local Rite Aid, please? In the local CVS, can you just put in some crack pipes?
So in the area it's legal for them. So
no shit.
Yeah. So as a business owner, the manager, it's their job to come up. If people come and customers ask for certain items, they try to stock it. So the manager of the store decided, he's like, I'm gonna start putting the crack pipes and meth pipes out with the candy and all the other bullshit that's out there.
So right, you kids, you can have candy, but don't grab the crack pipes.
Don't. Fuck. You can only have one crack pipe this trip.
I know. One crack pipe per day, you young man.
So like the police are saying, well, they're kind of frowning upon it and trying to kind of is not a situation they want people to be in, because it just kind of becomes problematic for the community. But
that's a thin line, man. I mean, you remember back in the day when like convenience stores used to sell like the really shitty convenience stores would sell like smut and porn and Playboys and all that. Do you remember that?
Yeah. Like, what was that one place that we used to go to?
Fuck, which one?
Which one? It was that Korean guy or whatever, and he would like
which one?
There's one we used to go to. Is like where he didn't even care. Like we were like probably like 13, and he was just on to us, and we're like, okay.
It's all like Teen Wolf. Remember, he's trying to buy a keg. The guy wouldn't let him. This guy's all the opposite. Yeah, go ahead. I don't remember which one it was. Was it in our local town, or was it?
It was in the local, not in our local town, but the bigger town next.
The bigger town. Maybe we get a hold of Sal Lundy, and he could tell us.
Oh, Sal Lundy would remember. Yeah,
Sal Lundy would remember. But I remember a few places going to them, and they didn't mind us. They sold that shit to us. It was money, man. They didn't give a fuck.
And they got busted. They got because I remember a couple years after that. I was probably like in my 20s, and they finally got busted, and they got.
Oh, they did?
Yeah.
Poor Korean guy. No more selling to underage kids, huh? No more porn underage.
Just trying to make some money.
Hey, man. Everyone's got to make that dollar, right? So, I got another news story, and people, listeners, we're not ranking on Florida. We love Florida. But there's so much news that comes out of there. So.
You know what? That's where I get most of mine.
I'm just saying. I'm not hating. I'm just saying that there's always a lot of news out of Florida. So this is a little bit weird, but some fleeing suspect sinks into a Florida swamp. So a suspect fleeing from police in Florida ended up needing their help when he ran into a swamp and sank up to his neck in thick mud. So this guy, the Pasco County Sheriff Office said deputies attempted to stop a driver for speeding Tuesday on U.S. Route 41, and the vehicle nearly struck deputies during the ensuing pursuit. Mm-hmm. So the driver, identified as Paul Andrew Smith, got out of his vehicle after a short chase and fled on foot into a nearby swamp. Well, I guess this footage recorded by the canine handler body camera shows the dog named Knox, locating Smith in the swamp where he was submerged up to his neck in thick mud.
Holy shit.
It took several deputies working together to pull him free from the muck. So this fucking guy, man, they tried pulling him over. He fled. He almost hit some people. Almost hit the cop. He finally just said, "Fuck it, I can't outrun him on the car, so I'll run him on foot." So he went into the swamp, and he fucking sank up to his neck. So, yeah, they got him. They busted him. He was arrested on charges of fleeing to elude, aggravated assault on a law enforcement officer, and violation of probation.
So it was just like really deep swamp water, or like was it quicksand?
I think it was deep swamp water. I don't know if there's quicksand there in Florida. Honestly, I do not know. I'm assuming it's just mud.
The only time I've ever heard of quicksand is like in the movies.
Yeah.
It's like when you watch movies, there's always like quicksand around.
Yeah,
someone's always like falling into it, and they always have to like try to like someone's always trying to throw him like a vine or like a rope to him.
Yeah, exactly. No, this one the cops had to get him out, man. He was up to his neck. I don't know. Can you imagine that? That
would suck. Especially after you're running for the cops.
Yeah, like, you're like, fuck, do I yell for help or do I die?
He's just standing there, like, in the hall with his head up there, like, trying to see if he should yell out for help.
I know. Help. Yeah, I know.
Look over here.
Man. Yeah, I mean, obviously he wanted to get away, right? I mean, he took off on foot. So he was in a car and he took off on foot. Maybe he thought he knew that swamp area and he could just get away.
Maybe.
I've never been to Florida. I don't know how that is, but I wouldn't fuck with all that area with those gators and shit.
All the gators. Those gators are gonna get you.
Yeah, man, I ain't fucking with that. This guy did it, man. He almost fucking got submerged.
You know what he should have done? He should have done what this guy did from Westland, Michigan.
Oh, what did he do?
So basically, a wild car crash involving 5 vehicles ended Tuesday when a man getting out of his car, he gets in the wreck. 5 vehicles all crash into each other. He gets out of his car. Then he proceeds to take off all his clothes.
What?
He starts taking off all his clothes and he starts running around the street screaming. And when the cops get there, they're like asking him if he was okay, and he's just like running in a circle, screaming naked. What? I'm fine, he tells the officer.
Fine? He's naked running around?
Yeah, he's like running around screaming, and then finally when he realizes the cops aren't going to deal with his ass anymore, he starts to take off running away. And when he does, they like tackle him, they cuff him.
He's all naked and
he's all naked, so he breaks away, starts running a circle, dances around and stuff until like they finally start to chase him.
Oh God, what the fuck? What's the point of that?
Hey, well, it's better than like getting stuck in the mud.
I don't know, man.
Well, yeah, now that I think about it,
yeah, at least the guy in the mud, you knew he was running because he broke probation, right? And then he almost ran over a cop. So he's
they don't even know why he did it.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Maybe he was on something.
He might have been, but when they got him in custody, they weren't able to determine why he was so acting so radically.
Damn, that's weird.
It's probably meth. See, he probably went to the convenience store.
Yeah, I got that meth pipe. Yeah. Since it's legal there. I wonder if the cops are really like torn over that. Like, fuck. Like, are they just following people that leave that store? You know?
That'd be the
Well,
best way to do it,
right? like yeah, I'm just gonna whoever's gonna go in. Well, not whoever, but there's a good chance somebody's gonna buy. There's gonna be a fucking crack smoker. Right? It's like those cops that sit outside of bars at night, right?
Yeah, it's just like taking out drunk drivers.
Yeah, exactly. You see people getting drunk in their car. It's right there, instant pullover. Meet their quota.
You gotta do what they gotta do.
Yeah.
Earn their money.
Yep, exactly. Do we have time for one more? Or?
Yeah, we got time.
Okay. Here's a couple other winners. Robbery suspects lose stolen money to the wind. So, police in Britain showed a video of two clumsy robbers who lost some of their ill-gotten cash to a strong gust of wind in a moment caught on camera.
Oh, that would suck. So
Yeah,
bad.
yeah. These guys in Manchester, the police showed a video of these two guys. They were fleeing after a robbery at a travel agent's office in Droylsden, England. And on March 17th, it shows cash falling from the robbers' pockets and being carried away by the wind. So you see on the video, you see all this cash, like they're walking in this cash. I don't know how it doesn't. It's not very detailed, but you see all this cash fly out of their pockets. Yeah,
like those like when you go like to car dealerships and they have those like special deals where they put you in the machine with the
exactly
the tornadoes and you have to try to grab the money.
Yeah, exactly. And the men attempted to retrieve some of the money, but they ended up fleeing in a silver car, right? Because, I mean, that was a lot of cash, and, people are going to just pick it up or like, hey, where's all this money coming from, right?
Wow, that'd be awesome if you're just like walking by the area and all this fucking cash flies at you.
Oh, fuck yeah. That'd be great. The bad thing is, what if it's stolen and you have to give it back, right?
Well, that's if they see you taking it.
Well, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm pretty sure, like, don't they have the money like marked or something, or no?
I don't know.
Yeah, but anyway, yeah, that would be great to find a bunch of money like that. To just come across money flying at you. It's like, oh shit,
on a windy day.
yeah. But these fucking guys, man, I don't know why it wasn't secure, or if they just were just playing pocket pool with the money in their pockets, and the wind just carried a lot of it off. So they fucking they had to like just let it go. But that's shit.
So did they catch him because of that?
No. It helped the camera see their faces because they had to turn around. As they turned around, like looking for the money.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, the camera was able to see their faces.
They should have put a plastic bag on their head.
I know, a clear plastic bag. Fucking water. Then they would have been immortal.
It would have turned them invisible.
Yeah, I know. Nobody would have been able to catch them. Those fucking guys, man.
All right, so we probably should get going into the main topic.
Yeah, main topic. What do we got today?
So this main topic is 5 most haunted roads in the United States.
United States. All right, can't wait to hear about those.
The weather's getting warmer. It's starting. The days are getting a little bit longer now, and people start crawling out of their winter holes, and we start going on road trips. There are 1.2 billion vehicles on the world's roads today, and by 2035, the number is going to zoom up to about 2 billion. People drive across the country looking at all the United States has to offer in attractions, like the biggest ball of twine in Minnesota, or like the largest chicken wing in Florida. Yep, Florida. You're just weird.
It's weird.
It's easy to say that humans like to travel and see shit, but what if the roads were the attractions? What if the destinations you wanted was the actual roads? So sit back and buckle up, and we're going to talk about the 5 most haunted roads in America. Number 1 is the Boy Scout Lane in Stevens Point, Wisconsin. So you would think with a name like Boy Scout Lane, it would be a wholesome ride, but you'd be wrong.
Uh-oh.
So according to legend, in the 1960s, the Boy Scout organization planned to build a campground at the end of a 3-mile stretch of road. Before construction started, a troop of Boy Scouts ventured into the future campsite. So they wanted to set up a camp before they actually built the site. So a bus full of Boy Scouts and their driver headed to the end of the road and set up the camp. And after that, they were never heard of again. So there are a few versions of what happened to them. Some say that the bus had caught on fire, burning all of them alive while trapped in the bus. But many really suggest that the bus driver was a psychopath and had ended up hunting them down in the woods while they were out there alone, hunting them down one by one throughout the night. Because of the gruesome incident, the Boy Scouts of America halted the plans on building the campground and have left the area untouched for years.
If they thought it was a Boy Scout bus driver, was he ever found? Was he ever questioned or anything?
You know, they never really say. They just kind of said that he killed all these people and he got away. So I don't think he was ever found out who he was.
Okay. But they never found his body either, right? He wasn't killed.
Well, they never really say. You know, these are just like stories that people have come up with. So okay. I mean, it could be anything.
Yeah, no shit. Could be UFOs.
There's just tales that the locals there's tales that the locals tell.
Gotcha.
When people today visit the area, they report like red lights that look like lanterns burning in the forest, and the lights appear to be wandering through the trees. And they say that's like the kids trying to find their way through the forest.
Oh, nice.
And like when the people see these, they try to go and find where the source is at. And as soon as they get close enough, the lights disappear.
Yeah.
It is also said that people would hear sounds like if you're camping out there, you can hear footsteps running around, like your tents and stuff. And then they would hear children crying in fear, like surrounding the campsite.
Oh, fuck that.
Yeah. I know. I wouldn't want to be out there.
Fuck that. No.
So many would claim to see children on the side of the road hanging from trees, like from a noose, when they're driving away from the site. So they would be driving away, and you would see, like this corner of your eye, you see like people hanging, and then it would disappear. So if you're looking forward to a badge of bravery, you should go visit the Boy Scout lane.
Shit. Fucking skip that badge.
Yeah, you don't want to get that one.
Nah.
So the number 2 place is Shades of Death Road in Warren County, New Jersey.
Ooh.
So you would think the scariest thing from New Jersey would be Snooki from the Jersey Shore.
Yeah.
But she's a close second on this one.
Okay. Oh, Snooki, how we love thee.
Did you ever used to watch that show?
Fuck no.
I watched like a couple episodes. Oh my god, it's freaking cancer.
Was it? Oh man, I couldn't watch it. I can never do reality TV, man.
Not really. I can watch sometimes if it's interesting enough. I'll watch a couple episodes, but it never keeps my attention.
I can't do Dancing with the Stars. None of those, man.
Oh, I can't do those.
I can't do any of those.
I used to watch a little bit of the Survivors when they first came out.
No, fuck that, man.
But I can't.
I've never been on board with any of those. Sorry, people. I'm a fucking old ass bastard. I don't like that shit. I want some real stuff like Lost. Some stories that are true.
And never have any conclusions.
Yeah, I want reality TV. I want real reality. I don't. Ghost Hunters, man. I couldn't get in any of those, man.
Oh, really?
No, because they never found anything.
Yeah.
You knew they never found anything.
Yeah, they never did.
And then you'd hear a sound, see, this is what we got. We got something just saying like it wouldn't even be like a real concrete evidence of anything. I was like, oh. Like I watched all this to fucking just hear like some maybe some pipes banging into the wall.
Yeah, like, oh, that's a ghost. That's a ghost.
Yeah, I know it's a ghost. I've dealt with those. It's a class 5. What's a class 5? Oh, I can't. Yeah, it's just a ghost. It's angry. Oh. So no, sorry. Anyway, we've digressed. But tell us about New Jersey.
But there's real ghosts at the Shades of Death Road, though.
Okay.
So the 7-mile stretch of road, which runs along the state Jenny Jump State Forest, is a hotbed for paranormal activity. The road has a grisly history. In 1930s, the road was a site for at least 3 brutal murders. One man having his head caved in by a tire iron and left for dead over a few coins. Another victim was a woman who had beheaded her husband and buried both parts of his body on opposite sides of the road. And lastly, a local man named Bill Cummings, who was shot to death and buried on the roadside along the roadside in a pile of mud. And the murder was never solved. People there claim while driving down the road, a supernatural mist will overtake the forest. While driving through the mist, ghostly figures can be seen on the side of the road walking. The mist comes from a nearby body of water called the Ghost Lake. The locals say that the mist... What was that?
Perfect name.
I know.
Shit.
The locals say the mist is the spirits of dead Native Americans who were killed by masses and dumped into the lakes. The place has a lot of nasty history, so if you're in the area, locals say don't get out of the car while you're driving through there because you might not make it back.
Has anyone really done investigations on that place? Does it say anything like that?
Well, I've seen some of the videos where people like try to drive down it. Nothing really happens, you know. They just kind of... It's a nice view.
It's like Lover's Lane, huh?
Yeah. So yeah, these are just things that the locals talk about and people claim to have seen.
All right. Well, so. Fair enough. All right. What else we got?
All right. Route A2 in Haynesville, Maine. This stretch of road runs through the woods of Haynesville and is responsible for a number of accidental deaths from icy patches during its treacherous winters. But this road is most famous for an apparition of a young woman who walks alongside Route 2A. So drivers claim to see a young woman in white slowly walking along the side of the road. The young woman appears to be stumbling as if she had been injured. So the driver will pull over to the side of the road and ask the woman if she needs assistance. She will appear pale, lost. She explains that her and her husband had been in a car accident. So she accepts the driver's help and gets in the car. When she's in with the driver, all of a sudden, the driver gets a sensation of like coldness or a chill, you know.
Shit, I thought you were gonna say like he gets horny.
she might be pretty hot. I don't
She
know.
might be hot. Like fuck, you're looking real good.
Looking real good, real ghostly good.
I know.
Those are those ghostly titties.
I know. I can see through that robe.
I can see through that. I can see through your body. Oh, man.
So he gets cold.
So he gets a chill. You know, like you know something's up.
Yeah.
So when the car gets to the end of the forest, she disappears before the driver's eyes. So the locals claim that the woman and her husband had died on the road in a car accident many years ago, and believe that it's her ghost that still haunts the road today. Now that one was kind of interesting because like they were talking about there was actually a woman that did die, and like there was actually a woman and her husband that did die in the car accident on that road.
Oh, there was.
Yeah, like I think they had like actual police reports and stuff.
So was she like dressed in white too?
What's the husband?
No, the wife. I don't give a fuck about the husband. I want to talk about the woman, damn it.
That's what they claimed, that she was dressed in. Yeah, was dressed in white. Had the same person.
If that's true, you know, that'd be pretty crazy. Like she's just like stuck in a loop.
Yeah.
Something, you know, like in a whatever parallel
universe
between realms. You know?
Yeah, I mean, it could be.
She's maybe stuck in that loop or something.
Some of the other roads, a lot of them have that same story where there's like a woman dressed in white.
I was about to say that.
It's I guess it's probably a pretty common thing that people, you know, they hear it from one place and they just pick a road and they just make up that same story. You know, just kind of, and it's like all a part. There's probably like in every state there's a road that has that same fucking story.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, right. I know. I've heard that from other states actually. So, I mean, it's pretty shitty. I mean, I can imagine, you know, those winters up there on the Northeast are probably pretty bad. I mean,
yeah, I think
that stretch of road, I'm sure there's a lot of deaths there. I mean,
yeah, they get a lot of car accidents on that road.
Yeah, there's a lot of places around the states, you know, or everywhere where there's like a stretch of road that's just really bad. So there might be a lot of ghost activity around there, and maybe hers is just the strongest, where she can keep coming back.
Yeah, I mean, it is a pretty, like, you know, car accident. That's a pretty traumatic way to die. You think there might be at least some sort of like. I've heard like theories where like ghosts aren't like, it's not like a person. It's like kind of like a recording being played over and over again.
Gotcha. Yeah.
You know, like the memory
stuck on a loop, right?
Yeah. It's like it's just like a memory, or like it was such a tragic thing that like that something makes it happen over and over again.
I mean, like you did, you know, one of your shows about life after death. Like, what would cause that? Like, why if that was true, why would that happen?
Who knows?
What allows that to happen, right? And it's curious. I'm just curious. And like you said, there's always a bunch of stories where that happens, where a woman's always walking on the side of the road and disappears, and then that's just basically like an urban legend, kind of, isn't it?
Yeah.
All right. Well, what else you got?
Okay, so Number 4 is Archer Avenue in Chicago, Illinois. This 7.2 miles of Illinois Route 171 is between Resurrection Cemetery and the St. James Sag Church, both reported to be full of paranormal activity and unexplained phenomena. The road winds through a creepy forest, a number of eerie lakes, and scary-looking cemeteries. Much like the Route 2A road, it also has a young woman apparition, like I was saying, which they called Resurrection Mary, that hitchhikes for rides, scaring the pants off unsuspected drivers. Another story that the local talk about, this one I thought was kind of interesting, because it's not a ghost, it's called the Gray Baby. Some say that it's like a werewolf who stalks the woods and trails nearby the road. But according to legend, in the 1950s, a couple was killed in a car accident near the Sacred Heart Cemetery. And somehow their child was thrown out of the vehicle and survived in the forest, feeding off the local wildlife.
Wow.
And they say on moonlit nights, motorists will drive by and they'll see glimpses of a hairy creature, on the side of the road, the half man, half wolf, or something that will like run across their headlights, and they'll see like this hairy wolf-like creature. They'll be, going across the road or just making them swerve off the road. Locals claim that at night the animals, that a lot of houses in the area, they'll get spooked by the animals that will, like their horses or whatever, will get spooked. And many believe that it's the Great Baby that does it.
So the baby survived, and it was basically raised feral.
Yeah. So I mean, like, because I've heard stories where kids were like, they're raised by wolves.
They're raised, yeah, exactly, raised in the wild.
Yeah. They come out, they're all crazy. It's plausible.
No, I mean, something like that. I always wonder, like why no predators kill the animal, like the baby, right? Like, how did that survive? I don't know. I'm not saying it's not possible.
Well, there's cases where animals have, like a mother animal or a mother
has taken them in,
or try to take care of them.
Sure. No, I get that. I'm just saying that's kind of weird, Like, do they just see them as non-threatening? But then again, wouldn't that mean like an easy meal?
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't know.
I guess it depends on the mother's instinct, Like,
exactly.
Maybe the whatever it was just had a baby's, a litter.
Yeah.
And so like they're like
motherly.
So it's kind of motherly, and so I'll just I'll take another one.
That's interesting. No, that's pretty cool. So they think that it's just kind of out there, just causing.
Yeah, just ruckus. Some hairy dude out there.
Damn, man.
Just running out there, scaring people.
He must stink like shit. Big old Chewbacca out there, huh? Man, it's causing havoc. That's cool. All right. So you got one more story?
I got one more road.
All right.
And that's Clinton Road from West Milford, New Jersey. So
these are all on the East Coast, huh?
Yeah, these are all on the East Coast. There's probably like a West
Midwest East Coast. All right.
Well, you figure like the East Coast is older, it's an older part of the country.
More history.
There's more history there. So.
Yep.
So this is 9.3 miles of road, a twisted string of old pavement tucked away in heavy northeastern woods. Has been associated with everything from the KKK to the Jersey Devil.
Two scary things.
So phantasmal sightings include multiple reports of phantom headlights following dangerously close behind drivers to only disappear into thin air, as well as glowing red eyes staring out from the forest as you drive by. That would be kind of creepy.
Fuck those red eyes.
So what it's most famous for is at Ghost Boy Bridge, where the road crosses Clinton Brook. Legend says any change tossed into the water below will be tossed back by a little boy who haunts the spot. In New Jersey, the road has long been infamous for its associates with the dark side, with the nearby ruins of Cross Castle rumored to house occult meetings and druid rituals. The abandoned jungle habitat zoo along the route, which is a pretty scary sight on its own, was said to have dabbled in crossbreeding, creating animals like an albino deer that still roam the forest. So basically, there was an old zoo there that got shut down, and a lot of people say like some of the animals kind of just escaped.
Sure.
So like in the area, there's still like zebras and just like
Still around.
leopards, just weird shit down there.
Damn, that'd be weird.
Yeah.
You're just down there and there's like a Bengal or something fucking roaming. God, that'd be scary, wouldn't it?
I know, that'd be more scary than a ghost.
Yeah, man. You just fucking going through the forest and all of a sudden you come across a Bengal.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh
God.
shit.
Yeah. I'm dead.
But yeah, and I guess a lot of people go down there too for that bridge where they throw coins down there, and apparently something throws it back up. But they say there's a boy that was killed there, or had jumped off the bridge and died, and so his ghost goes down there throwing coins back up at people.
So something down there that hates money. What the fuck?
What the fuck? What's wrong with you, fucker?
I know, it's un-American, damn it. Should be taking all that money.
So those are the five most haunted roads in America.
Damn.
East Side Edition.
East Side Edition, yeah. Hopefully you can maybe one day do a West Side Edition. That'd be cool.
I'll have to do part 2 maybe with
Yeah.
so you can find some. Because I don't know of any roads that are like super haunted over here. The only one I know is that dumb one in Texas where they said the little kids died in the car in the bus.
Yeah.
And they try to push cars across.
Yeah, I don't know. That's interesting about all these places. I wonder how much. Obviously, like you said, there's a lot of history to all these East Coast cities and roads, and there's a lot of history there. So there's probably been a lot of deaths, and again, if ghosts are roaming around, geez, that's a lot. That's a lot of history.
Yeah, there's a lot of history. But I always thought, like, I've never really believed in the ghosts, but like I do kind of I can see like parallel universes happening.
Mm-hmm.
And I can maybe understand maybe they collide together.
Mm-hmm.
And at that point maybe maybe that's what causes people to see ghosts. It's just like there's a parallel universe where that person just is there, and that someone that was died is actually still alive, and they're just kind of.
But why do we continue to see it on a loop?
I don't know.
I mean, I know what you're saying. Like, maybe they are alive and they're actually living that. But why is it? Are we in the loop?
Or maybe there's like parallel universes where you live in just that loop after you die. I don't know.
I don't know, man. I don't know. That's sounds like a hell almost.
Oh, maybe they're like a universe hells.
Jeez, I don't want to think about that.
So what do you think? What do you think would be scarier though? Is like actually there being a hell, or they're actually like you just die and nothing happens?
Well, I mean, I guess if you die and nothing happens, I guess there's really nothing to be scared about.
That's
but
true.
I mean, right? But if you know that there's nothing after, I mean that would collapse religions, right? I mean, because everyone who's religious believes there's a heaven and a hell, right? You got to do good to go to heaven. If you do bad, you're going to hell. So
well, there's some religions that don't believe in hell.
I'm talking about traditional mainstream, the main religions that we always hear about that are involved with politics and all that shit. I mean, that's kind of their main belief, right?
Oh yeah.
If one of them went to say, because I think even like a week ago or something, I think the Pope kind of said something acting as if there is no heaven, like there's nothing after you die, and everyone was like, "What the fuck? You can't say that! How dare
Blasphemy!"
you?" Exactly, exactly. And so then they had to like backtrack. No, I didn't say that there was nothing. I was just saying that it was just it was one of those where a play on words where if you didn't say something exactly how it should be, then everyone's like, "Oh, I can't believe you said that or didn't say that," And so, I don't know. I to go back to your question, I think what would be harder is what would be scarier, if there was really like a hell, like if you knew that there was, something like brimstone and waiting for you, it'd almost be like, how would you even make it?
I guess the better question would be like, would you rather have nothing happen, like it's just complete, you're gone? Or would you like have that option to go to heaven or hell?
That's tough, because if you said you want the option of heaven or hell, then the next question is, how do I even make it? How do I avoid hell? Like, you cannot be good all the time.
That's true. What if there's like 4 rules that they gave you?
4 rules? Don't we have the 10 commandments?
Yeah, so like if you just follow the 10 commandments and that was all you had to do. But even then, like most people can't even do that.
No, man, that's like impossible. Like nobody would be in heaven.
I mean, just saying "God damn it," that's pretty much.
That's blasphemy, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it would only be babies in heaven, I guess, right? I mean,
or
you know what I'm
can't
saying?
talk.
Yeah, right. They can't make any decisions or fucking pull it, drive and wreck into something or anything like that. I don't know, man. These rules and stipulations are really weird, and the way that religion tries to explain them is, I don't know. Sometimes I wonder if they're just trying to put fear into people, right? I mean, I understand. I know a lot of religious people, and some of them are really great people, and religion does help a lot of people. I'm not totally against that, because I think it helps some people stay in line.
Yeah, there's some people that need it.
Exactly. Just like some people need AA.
Yeah,
I know people that go to AA. They need it to keep them from drinking. So be it. If that makes you a better person, so be it.
Yeah, but I don't mind if they do that, but don't try to fucking put it. Try to put your rules on me.
Of course,
because
nobody wants it. Nobody wants
fine.
it. Like if I love guns and you don't, I don't want to hear you telling me about how bad guns are, right? If I'm not religious and you are, I don't want you to be spouting to me about that, right? It's just that's how it is.
It's common courtesy.
Everyone just wants to be left alone.
Yeah, just if you want to believe whatever you want to believe, that's fine. I don't care.
Exactly.
But don't try to put your rules on me because they don't apply to me.
That was the hard thing is though. When we grew growing up, that always happened to us. So that's what's made us bitter about it. Is that we always got that forced down our throats, right? Remember, we always had to go to church. If you didn't do this, you're gonna go to hell. And it's like, then you think about it later. It's like but all those people telling me that shit, I saw them doing all this fucked up.
I know.
But as a kid, you didn't know any better, and you think about it in hindsight. It's like, motherfucker.
You do what I say, not what I do.
Exactly, right? I mean, when you're young, you don't know. You're just scared. They just remember that? They used to fill us with all this, you're going to go to hell. You don't want to be down there. You're going to be whipped. And all that shit. And I know, that was hard. That was hard. And that made it kind of, I think I made a lot of people, kind of bitter on that stuff.
Yeah, I think so too. There's a lot of our generation that shit going on.
Not everybody, but there's a lot that have become bitter. But I do know that religion does help a lot of people, and they also say that people who are religious live longer because they have more faith. Right? If you get diagnosed with some type of cancer, people who believe in God and really religious end up living longer because
I think because they have hope.
They have more faith, and hope. Yeah,
it gives them something to keep
gives them something extra to fight with, right? The body will grasp it and fight with that too, and it's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, it just keeps their spirits up, just makes them
right
want to fight for something. Yeah,
because sometimes when you get real bad news, man, it just fucking floors you. Yeah. You just want to give up. And if you can find something to grasp onto, to hold you, to keep you up, which some people use religion, fuck, so be it. Some people use porn, so be it.
going back to the ghost. So I always found the road one kind of interesting because most people when they something haunted, it's always like a house.
Okay.
Or it's and I was thinking well, if there's ghosts on the roads, it's like how come why do they always stay in the houses? Why don't they if you're a ghost, do they leave? Can you have an option to leave?
I don't know. Are you confined to that area?
Yeah, can you go to the store and then come back and
But I've also heard that you can. Some people say that I think I told you. I think I might have mentioned on here once before. I met a woman who a few months ago said that she could see ghosts. Mm-hmm. That she had that power to do that. Right?
She's a psychic.
I guess. I mean, she said she could, and she was telling me that ghosts. They're not confined to one spot, and basically what they want is they want to be heard by the people here on Earth, right? The people that they love. So I remember asking her, because think of me as I don't shun anybody. If they have something to say about that, I'll listen. I don't mind listening and talking to them. I've never been somebody to shut somebody else down. So we were talking about it, and she was saying that I asked her like, but wouldn't that be like a hell? Is that hell for them since they are on like just like a like think of our plane, but maybe just shift it off a little bit where they can't talk to us, but they want to, and they can watch us, and they can see us make our mistakes, and they can't do a damn thing about it.
Yeah, that would really suck because like you have no.
So isn't that hell?
Yeah, you're gonna have no power. You're just kind of there.
You're just watching. You know, like what if you died and you see your wife? You know, some other guy starts stepping to her, and you know, then she starts, you know, eventually accepting it, and you'd be like, "Fuck, man, I don't want to see this," right? But she said that what she had told me was that the ghosts can fly off and go around. They're not stuck here. They're not confined here, and they can fly around basically they can fly out into space, I guess, and move around the cosmos. They're not confined to here, so. Why some are like haunting or poltergeisting, you know, certain areas, I don't know. I don't get that. I should have asked her about that. But I just thought it was interesting, you know, because
like if I was a ghost and I'd be able to
go anywhere,
and just if you're just stuck to seeing stuff, I mean I'd go to Scarlett Johansson's house and just hang out there all day.
Just check it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I get that. No, don't trust me, man. Every guy wants to be invisible and be in a girl's bathroom. Right? But after a while, you're just gonna get boring. That's gonna get boring, right?
You just go to some other hot chick's house. It'll get different.
Exactly, I get that. But
again,
again, after a while.
Yeah, I guess if you're doing that forever,
yeah, you're just gonna be like, "Fuck, man, this is lame now." Like you're gonna just desensitize yourself to it.
That's true. You just ruined that.
Yeah, exactly. You have to do it in moderation, right?
Yeah, I guess you just kind of ruined the whole ghost thing for me. So, speaking of, man, and I texted you this the other day last week, but one of the great radio greats, Art Bell, died. Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Last week. So, condolences to him and his family. You know, Art Bell was a guy that I started listening to, like, you know, late 90s or early 2000s, and, you know, coast to coast. He was a great radio personality.
Yeah, he was pretty much the one that pretty much got us to do the podcast.
Yeah, Art Bell was fantastic. You know, Coast to Coast AM was, when he was running that show, was fantastic. I mean, and that's what I liked about Art, and that's how I've always tried to model myself. Is every time, no matter how crazy the person sounded, he wouldn't just turn them off. He would be like, you know, so tell me about yourself, you know, and the guy would be like, oh yeah, I'm the Antichrist. Okay, well,
yeah.
You know, and then people listening would be like, oh God, and Art would be like, and Art would always be professional. Hey, so tell me why, you know, what makes you the Antichrist? You know, tell me what is your goal? What are you doing? How are you achieving it? He was a great, you know, radio personality.
Yeah, he was a good interviewer, and he just kind of let the story go where it went.
He did.
And he was just more interested in getting a good story.
Exactly.
Yeah,
it was good entertainment, and it wasn't, like I said, he never screened his calls. You remember that?
Yeah. Because there was times I'd be like, oh, Art Bell, this guy needs to stop talking. But, you know, he let him go. But eventually, like, the guy would have a good, you know, it all came out as a really good story.
It was, and it would be good entertainment, and you know, later on you might think, you know, you'd be hearing it like, fuck this guy, and then later on he's like, you know what, that sounded kind of interesting, you know, that's a crazy concept that guy had, but it was entertaining, and Art was good at that, and so we're gonna miss Art. Art was a great radio personality, and every time he had a show back, I always listened to it. Do you remember when he went on to Sirius XM a few years ago?
Yeah.
Yeah, I had the subscription, and I was listening to it. I mean,
I had a subscription, not to that, but to the Coast to Coast.
Yeah,
for a while.
Maybe he had a Dark Matter show, and that was he was good, man. We're gonna miss Art.
Yeah.
So hopefully
I still every once in a while I'll look and listen to on YouTube some of the
old
episodes.
God, they were so good. He was so good. He had some real classic stuff that were just, you know, people can look up. Remember that, like you did that show with a guy when he called in and said he was from Area 51?
Yeah.
That was pretty good. Remember another guy called in and he was flying a ship or flying a plane that was going to crash into it? Remember that?
Yeah, I remember that.
Was...
he had some pretty good moments on there.
Yeah, he did. So if anyone, you know, I'm sure a lot of people know who Art Bell is, but if not, Look him up on YouTube. Listen to his clips. He's a great radio personality.
Yeah,
he's gonna be missed.
Yeah, he's gonna miss him a lot. So,
but on that note, I think it's time for us to go.
Yep, it's time to end the show.
Yeah, we'll be back next week. So everybody, just miss us.
All right. So have a good morning, evening, or night, and we'll see you next week. Until then, stay strange.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
If you enjoy the show, please go to iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, or wherever you're listening, and please give us a good rating. If you want to share a story or have ideas for a future episode, you're welcome to visit us at www.thestrangepodcast.com. We look forward to hearing from you.